Welcome to It Can Get Better Than This. I'm Dr. Cindy Byler,
And I'm Heather Hodge.
and we are on the second episode of our holiday season. Woo,
Woohoo!
hopefully, you're having a good holiday season already. I know it's a busy month for most people.
And if not, we're here with you anyway.
So, today we're going to talk about the magic of Christmas.
The magic of Christmas. That's why I'm wearing my unicorn ugly sweater today.
Oh, and you have a bell on it too. Look at that.
It says holidays on it.
Magical holidays. Oh, that's perfect. So, there can be a lot of stress to making the magic of the season, especially when you have children,
Yeah.
when the childrens are involved. And so there's a lot of things that we do to create the magic.
Yes. Let's see. Baking cookies. The presents are already like a big deal.
Right.
Some people go to religious services, and honestly, I've been to a couple different kinds through
Mm-hmm.
the years, and they really are very magical in the sense of it feels like the season when you're there.
Right.
It does. The
Right.
candlelight, the singing, or whatever. It really does feel
Yeah.
very home. And then our family, we did a lot of traditions. Like we did pajama run.
I love pajama run. I want to do that with the grandkids when they get a little older.
Yeah, we're doing it with Ailey this year.
Oh, okay.
We can. We
I'm just
can.
kidding.
But we did.
Well, tell them what pajama run is.
Yeah.
So pajama run is what happened was
She can't wait.
I loved pajama run. We would be making hot cocoa secretly because this was a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were growing up and they were younger, their bedrooms were upstairs. We had an upstairs and a downstairs in the blue house. And they would
We'd be getting ready for bed, getting
right,
our pajamas on, doing all
right.
that stuff. And then they would yell pajama run, which meant everybody in their pajamas would run to the car, and they'd have hot cocoa for us, and we would drive around and look at Christmas lights.
It was so much fun.
Fun. And now that I'm on the parent side of things, really cheap way to do it.
Yes, yeah,
Except for gas. Gas is expensive. But
right. But you don't have to go all over the place.
Right.
You don't have. Usually, you can just go and see the lights around in the neighborhoods. You don't have to go to an hour away to see lights, unless there's some special lights to go see. But that's not usually part of pajama run because that's way too far away.
Right.
So yes,
that was amazing.
A lot of people like to make cookies together.
Yeah, or decorating the tree.
Right.
That's a big everybody does it kind of thing.
Caroling,
watching caroling,
watching certain Christmas movies or reading books together. There's a lot of holiday stuff that you can do, but in reality, the magic comes in the joy of the holiday, not in cramming up too much stuff together.
Yeah.
And to pack too much stuff into the holiday. I've talked to a lot of parents over the years that are like, it's so stressful. Like, I just want to create magic. And I'm like, do you remember the things that you loved about Christmas? And when they recite them, they weren't big, spectacular things.
It was little stuff.
It was the little things like making Christmas cookies together or pajama run. It wasn't how many things they did, but certain things that really stood out to them.
Yeah. And it's hard because in this day and age, there's so much out there. When you have the entire world in the palm of your hands, that means you have the entire world's Christmas ideas in the palm of your hands.
Right.
So I wish I had just done this with them. It's like, it gets to be too much. And for some people, when they have information overload, they just shut down and then nothing happens. And then you feel guilty and it's a vicious cycle.
Right. Right.
So picking one or two things,
right,
even it does make a huge difference for them. This is coming from an Elf on the Shelf lady. But
yeah, and even Elf on the Shelf, things like that, or baking cookies. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to make a gingerbread village.
Right.
You can just make the gingerbread men and decorate them, or sugar cookies and decorate them.
You can move the elf. And honestly, for a lot of kids, that's enough.
Right. It doesn't have to be any bigger than you really want it to be or is reasonable to be.
Yeah. My goal this year was to pick things, or for the elf to get to do things that they wanted to do that involve things we already had.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
One elf, she got this idea from driving the car into the Christmas tree. One of the kids' Barbie cars or whatever.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm like, we have a Barbie car. That elf can drive the Barbie car into the Christmas tree. That'd be hilarious.
That would be funny.
So,
And even there's financial stress that goes along with Christmas that kind of can pop a bubble in the magic. But
Yes.
you don't have to have a lot of presents either.
Yeah.
Many kids are just going to play with the boxes anyway for a while.
Especially those early years. They don't care.
No, and many times as they get older, there's specific things that they want that really would make the difference when all the other things are just
Right. It's just stuff to
things to
open at that
open,
point.
right? And you can wrap as many presents individually as possible to make it even more
Yes.
fun.
That's a hack. If you take everything out and you wrap each piece individually, that's more presents right
Right,
there.
right.
I
And
do that all the time. It's great. There's a set of books. We wrap the box, and then we wrap each
each
individual
individual
book,
book,
and
right,
then we get to put each book into the box, and it's a whole
right.
activity while we're going. It's great. She loves it.
So one of the big things for most holidays is the gifts. Well, for the holidays, this holiday season, not other holidays, although there should be more gifts at Thanksgiving. But there should be it helps to create boundaries around gift giving
Yes.
so that there's still magic in it, but it isn't too much stress and too much energy
Yeah.
put into it. So one of the things that our family does, that the siblings do, and other families do, is to draw names in the extended families and have gift money dollar limits so that you can only spend like $30.
Yeah, that helps. And you don't have to, you know, it's hard when you have people in your family that are making more than you or less than you too,
Hmm.
especially if it's like a sibling level.
Right.
It does not have to be that crazy. And it's okay to say, look, I don't even want anything past this limit. So if you want to get me something, let's keep it to this. Or,
Yes.
hey, everything's tight. This is not the invitation for you to start sending us money. This is us saying, this is what we can do. We're not going to go into debt for the holidays,
Right.
you know,
Right. And it's important to honor what
what
the
someone can do.
right. Well,
Yeah.
to also, if you're in a gift giving rotation of drawing names, it's important to honor that limit so that because some people will go all out and go way over the limit, but it makes other people feel bad. Or another thing is if you have friends and you say, we can do birthdays, but not Christmas, or we can do Christmas,
Yeah.
but not birthdays.
Don't change it.
Right.
Right. Don't
It
be
just
like,
makes
never
people feel
mind.
bad.
Yeah.
Right. Right. We had that with Tim's extended family where one of the families wanted to stop doing presents and we were giving to aunts and uncles and cousins and everybody. And it was a lot. And
Yeah.
then one of the uncles said, "Look, don't give to us."
Yeah.
And so it was important that we honor that because they were trying to pare down their Christmas too.
Yeah. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that you love anybody any less.
Right.
You know, it feels like this is a token of how much I love you, but that's not what it should
Right.
be. You
Right.
know, loving someone also comes in other forms, like showing up for them and
Yes.
remembering to check on them and see how they're doing
Right.
and you know, making meals for them when they're sick and stuff like that.
Right.
Asking how their kids are doing and how they're doing and being present in the moment with them and all the things that we've been talking about up to this point.
Yeah.
It does not all measure down to what you gave them for Christmas.
Right. That's true. So, back to Christmas, more Christmas magic. There's things that you remember in your childhood, like Pajama Run,
Hmm.
that sometimes when you try to emulate it,
It
it's
doesn't go so
it's not the
well.
same, or you don't realize some of the things that your parents went through to create that magic,
Yeah,
and how it didn't all. You don't remember everything that didn't go well for it,
right.
and it feels different, and it's going to feel different when you're an adult versus when you're a kid anyway.
There's a such thing as
Mm.
repressing memories too, so you might not
Yes,
remember it
right,
from the
right.
past.
And it's okay not to remember, but remember that it's not going to feel the same because it's your child and you're the adult now.
Yeah,
And also, it isn't going to go exactly the same way. So you create the same tradition and add
your spin on it.
yeah, your spin on it. So it, like we talked about in the last week in holiday expectations, you need to talk about expectations up front
Yeah.
and really narrow down what your expectation is in the event that you're creating the magic for.
And honestly, it's in the very early times in like Babyland and stuff, you're not really going to feel it as much, or a lot of people won't. Some people
Right.
do. I wasn't that lucky. But um as they get bigger, they start creating that magic back for you too.
Yes.
Like, I couldn't give two hecks about gingerbread men until this year when, you know, August, they have gingerbread in some of the stores,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter goes crazy over them. Ginger man, ginger man, ginger man.
Right.
I'm like, I didn't even know you knew what that was. I guess you saw it on Miss Rachel or something. And and then I went out and got a bunch of gingerbread stuff and made gingerbread crafts, not actual physical gingerbread, but like cardboard
Mm-hmm.
boxes and butcher paper and stuff, and white markers or the white paint markers, and
Right.
made gingerbread looking stuff for the house. We're probably not even she's not even gonna like it next year, but it felt very magical because she loved it.
Right. And she might.
And
It might become a new tradition for her,
right,
which
right,
is really
exactly.
funny. Yeah, because kids create their own magic as well.
They do.
And you kind
And
of just got to go with it.
yeah, yeah. I was a I have my degree in theater, and it's a lot of improv. Bluey taught me
Right.
that. It's a lot
Yes.
of improv.
It sure is. It sure is. There's also a lot of magic in the community that is already being created for you. We have
Yes.
a lot of communities. We have one here. They have tree lighting things,
Yeah.
events. So our tree
Community
lighting.
theaters do Christmas plays all the
Hmm.
time.
Right.
And it's honestly a good time to support your community and make magic into your community by showing up at these things
Right.
when you have the opportunity to.
Yeah.
A lot of those chorus and band concerts are free, and there are a lot of friends and family that go, but seeing more people go to those kinds
Oh
of
my
things
goodness.
is
Yes.
magical for the kids that are participating in
Right.
those events, and
Right.
telling them, "Oh my gosh, were you that singer over there? You did so good."
Right.
It really does, like, that will make their whole
Yeah.
holiday too.
I heard you play the saxophone above everybody else.
Yeah. And telling them, like, that was
Right.
amazing. Going up to the band director at the end of the show and saying, "You do such a good job. I can tell you're such a good teacher to these kids."
Hmm.
And like, that kind of stuff is free and means the world to them. And your kid got probably a little bit of culture too, because they're learning
Yeah.
from all kinds of different time periods and locations in the world. Some of that music comes from all over.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of magic in the community that you don't have to do anything for except to go to.
Yeah, and it
And that,
supports your community just being there, even if you don't buy anything.
right.
So another thing is being intentional. We just got out of our intentional relationships series this past season, and it holds true with the holidays
Hmm.
too.
Yes.
I don't like the idea of, like, if mom's not happy, nobody's happy, because that just adds more unnecessary pressure.
Right.
But the adults in the room do have an effect on
Oh, for
the
sure.
kids, and if you can do anything to alleviate that stress, even if it's take some of the things expectations off,
Right. Right.
I think that helps everybody.
That's one of the biggest problems is that we want to create the magic by doing so many things that it becomes so much.
Yeah.
It's important to, ahead of the holiday season, okay, let's do this and this and this. You can always add something back in, and if it's going really well, but our attitudes wear thin because we're so stressed and we're tired and there's no energy left, and we're really ready for the holiday to be done.
Yeah.
So you can pare down things and create a schedule
Right.
and help your attitude so that that really helps the magic of Christmas when the
Right.
mom and dad have a good attitude.
And it's tempting as the mom to be like, I have to keep it together, because if I don't keep it together, the whole house is going to not keep it together, and everyone's going to be upset, and I ruin Christmas, or I ruin Thanksgiving, or whatever it is. But the reason that they're not happy sometimes when you're not happy is because it very deep down, they want you to be happy and having a good time too.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
care about that. They don't always talk about or show it, and a lot of times they'll show you that
Right.
they don't care, but
Right.
they do care, that and they'll care later that you were happy in this. So if
Yes.
there are things that you can take off your plate, it might help
The ma-
enhance what's already there
right.
to make it more magical.
Right. Remember, the magic is not in every single thing that you do. The magic is in the joy that you're creating.
Yeah.
And many times that is in the simple things.
Mhm.
So remember during this time that kids' schedules are different. They're out of school or out
Yeah.
of daycare.
Daylight
Uh,
savings time just happened, so their
right.
schedules are off anyway.
Well, there's less structure and the routine is gone. And for most kids, they need that structure routine. And when it's just all of a sudden gone, the next one day they're in school and life is normal. The next day they're out of school for 2 or 3 weeks. They can become very dysregulated. They don't know what to do with themselves, and they're home more, and they're not around their friends. They're around their siblings, their
And
families
the
more.
expectation that like school sets is different than
Yes,
home because it's a mass amount of people
right.
versus six
Well, and
or
right,
four.
different rules, right. So the extracurriculars are shut down, and some kids really thrive when they're in theater or band or sports.
Hmm.
So they're more likely to have moods and temper tantrums. They're more likely to have meltdowns, and because they're having difficulty regulating their own moods and emotions. So just recognizing that when my kids were about middle school age, I realized that, okay, we've got to find some kind of a schedule so that they're just not completely free the whole day to figure out what to do with themselves. So sometimes creating a calendar helps. Like, this is what we're going to do over the holiday season. It doesn't mean that we're just going to create magic the whole time. Sometimes it's a matter of we're going to get your room cleaned up, or we're going to make cookies or prep for the brunch or whatever, the meal or whatever we do.
Or we're gonna, volunteer somewhere or something like that
Right.
too. We're gonna make cookies for the neighbor or
Right. Or today, we're going to watch some TV. We're going to watch some holiday movies and sit in front of the TV for a little bit.
yeah,
So having a plan really can help some of that dysregulation so they know what's going to happen and there's some structure to it rather than it's just a free for all, because a lot of kids don't do well with that, and then they're crying on Christmas and we don't know why, but it's just becomes too much.
yeah. And if you have a more independent kid, having them help,
Mhm.
even if it's marginally help them make the schedule, can put the power
Yes.
back into their hands a little bit.
Right.
And
Yeah, doing it with them helps. Like,
yeah,
these are the things that we want to do over Christmas.
and then when should we do what
Right.
thing?
Right. As they get older, you can include that in them.
A lot of families, the adults will make the plans, especially if you're going out of town or going to be with people for Christmas.
Mhm.
The adults get together and they make the plans, and the kids have no idea what's going on, and you just kind of bring them along for the ride. But if they get dysregulated, it does help to say, okay, guys, today we're getting up, we're going to get ready because we're going to head down to here, and then we're going to come back home and take a nap for a little while. And then tonight we're going to go to the tree lighting or whatever it is.
Right.
It helps to communicate that kind of stuff, especially as they get older. I remember being a teenager when we would go to Maryland, it was some of the hardest times of my life because you're just literally you're along for the ride.
Right.
My cousins were just younger or just enough of an age difference with me that I felt a lot older than them.
Mhm.
So it was a lot of oldest cousin, oldest sister, moods and
Right.
dysregulation. But like being included on, hey, this is what we're going to do today, and this is what time we're doing everything, and having the expectations really helped.
Right. And then one time we did a bunch of stuff through the week. We were at my sister's house and we'd done a bunch of stuff with the family and went on different fun things. And we found out towards the end of the trip, we just really want to stay home and play video games together and just chill. I mean, they were
Yeah,
teenagers at this point. I'm like, oh, so we can do less.
yeah,
So from then on, we started talking about what do you guys want to do this week? And got to cut out a lot of activity, or just the adults would go because they were getting old enough to stay by themselves and not,
yeah.
rip apart the house. And
Right.
it
They
was
got old enough to drive.
right. It was a lot better vacation for everybody because they didn't want to do all that stuff all the time, and we never really thought to ask. We were just creating the magic for them.
Yeah.
It's really important, and I wish we had done that earlier than we did. But it's important to talk to kids like, what do you want to do? Like,
Yeah.
what is fun for you at Christmas time? And sometimes they have to do what they don't want to do too, but for the family's sake. But it's
But balancing it
yes, it's good
helps.
to find out what they want to do.
Yeah.
So, so, and being mindful that the kids are dysregulated
Yeah.
and that there's a lot of adrenaline in Christmas, Hanukkah. There can be a lot of like lead up to it and like open the presents,
Yeah.
and then there's that letdown. The kids can really struggle through some of that, and having patience with them and realizing it's not that they're not grateful. They're it's just not the norm, and they're
Yeah.
getting so dysregulated through that.
It's the same kind of feeling as when you go on a trip and when you're on your way home. It's like the
Yes,
ride up is so energetic and fun because you're leading up to this big thing that you're going to.
right.
But then when you come home, you're like, back to real life.
Yes,
Thankfully, like a lot of people have that week between, like, if it's Christmas, they have that week between Christmas and New Year's off
right.
of school. But yeah, that letdown is not easy on little
No,
ones.
no,
It's not easy on adults either. We just don't
no.
always recognize that it's a thing.
Right,
That's why
right.
people keep their trees up until February sometimes.
Yes, yeah, and we like the lights.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our episode for keeping the magic of Christmas. Remember, just keep it simple and keep it where it's balanced and regulated so that you can create great memories for years to come. We hope you have a great week.
Remember, it can get better than this.
Bye.